The world is a living mirror. It can only reflect what's inside the viewer. A simple but important ideology within Jujutsu Kaisen. Beyond having thematic relevance, it permeates every facet of the world, with it appearing more and more like the story's core premise as it develops further. Pure cursed energy, by itself, is already an outer extension of the inner emotions one feels. But it extends far beyond that point, with the higher level battles revolving solely around your innate self. Fighting strategies must be built around what curse technique you naturally have, since the inherent aspects of it determine what is and isn't viable in battle. A simple example is the difference between Nanami's and Mekamaru's curse techniques. One is entirely based upon making direct contact with the target, while the other's main benefit is its incredibly wide range, naturally resulting in one sorcerer specializing in close quarters combat, while the other specializes in using advanced weaponry from afar. This division also extends into what other skills sorcerers develop outside their basic fighting strategy. A sorcerer relying on precision blows such as Nanami or Yuji will be far more likely to learn and rely on black flashes. Meanwhile, a sorcerer relying on manipulating their curse technique such as Mekamaru or Megami will be far more likely to learn and rely on domain expansions. Even though these two abilities can technically be learned by anyone, it is extremely rare for someone to utilize both, largely due to a lack of time and the existence of skill ceilings. Black flashes requires one to realize the true essence of their own cursed energy. Even though the vast majority of it seems to all practically be the same, there are still minute distinctions from each person's cursed energy. It serves as unique signatures from one another the same way fingerprints do. That is the flavor that Todo mentioned. Using Black Flash isn't only about the technical aspect of cursed energy colliding within a trillionth of a second upon contact. It's about first growing and realizing who you are. Only after that can you bring out your true self. Not one being disturbed by things such as anger, but one that is completely focused on the fight right now. In that moment, it becomes crystal clear what your place in the world is and what you must do. Boundless newfound strength overflows the body and raises your potential to 120%. A mathematical impossibility and feat so amazing that it begins to distort the space around it as a result. On the flip side, you have domain expansions. Instead of strengthening the cursed energy within yourself, you focus on projecting it outwardly, having a will so fierce that reality becomes completely overridden by the user's self and innate domain, being comprised around a person's cursed technique and imagination. It's realizing the true essence and deeper potential of your capabilities. Rather than reinforcing what was already there, it expands the newfound possibilities further onto previously unexplored territory, manifesting your ideal strength onto the world, one that can be freely accessed and controlled by the user at any time, making it the true pinnacle of Jujutsu sorcery instead of the highly useful but unpredictable and impractical Black Flash. With all of that in mind, it's unsurprising that strengthening oneself affects things outside of battle. Characters such as Mahito demonstrate how your curse technique will often affect how you view the world due to it being the primary way you interact with it. The more you freely use your ability, the more it's cemented into your mind as a natural state of the world. And I don't only mean it consciously like Mahito. It typically serves as a hidden insight into a character's true nature and the various themes that they will represent within Jujutsu Kaisen. Let's take everyone's favorite overpowered character as a primary example. Satoru Gojo has a lot of complexity surrounding his character, but all the discussions tie back to the fact that he is the bearer of the six eyes. All the positives and negatives surrounding him are deeply enhanced due to the world-altering power of them, obviously including how much his curse technique impacted his life. While others are eventually swayed by the nature of their abilities, Gojo has never been able to escape his. From childhood to adulthood, Satoru's mere existence distorted the balance of the entire world. Both enemies and friends alike automatically stop in their tracks when they near him, as the gap between the two narrows, it suddenly becomes an impassable wall, one that he keeps up 24/7 due to the fear of ever being hurt again, something that he learned to only ever put down when he's certain he won't get hurt. The series shows how it's practically impossible to change your nature regardless of what you experience in life or how hard you try. Cursed spirits, humans, and sorcerers will always be at odds with one another for the simple fact of what they were born as. All humans unintentionally exude a massive amount of cursed energy even though they cannot wield it themselves, giving birth to creatures made entirely up of and that feed on that negative energy, unsurprisingly resulting in the spirits always attacking humans, regardless of how much power, intelligence, or compassion they gain along the way. Meaning that the shamans who do possess the necessary power to vanquish these foes will end up feeling some sense of responsibility to act, regardless of how much pain and regret comes with the job. And this dynamic of everyone simply being cogs within the world, acting out their predetermined paths, seems to have been the status quo from the beginning of time, with nothing ever changing, the world only ever serving to mirror what came before. But does it have to stay that way? Similar to discussions about recidivism or the nature versus nurture debate, you can come to a countless number of conclusions depending on who you are. However, we can ignore all that intricacy since Gege has already provided an answer within his series. To find out what that answer is, we'll have to look towards the recent developments of the manga in the next video. Stay tuned.